A $300,000 tractor breaks down in the middle of harvest. The dealer says it needs a software update. No one can touch it for 3 days. Meanwhile, a beat-up machine sitting in a dusty barn nearby fires up on the first crank, rolls into that same field and finishes the job before sundown. That is not a story. That is Tuesday on farms across this country. These old machines don't just survive, they embarrass everything that came after them. Number 1. John Deere 4020, 1963, 1972. Let's start with the undisputed king. The John Deere 4020 was introduced in 1963 as part of the new generation lineup, and it didn't just change farming in America, it rewrote the rule book entirely. This tractor was powered by a 404 cubic inch 6-cylinder diesel engine producing 91 horsepower at the PTO, which was enormous for its era. But raw power wasn't what made the 4020 legendary. It was the combination of power, reliability, and engineering simplicity that made it unstoppable. The 4020 featured John Deere's Synchro Range or Power Shift transmission. The Power Shift version gave operators 8 forward speeds and 4 reverse speeds, all shiftable under load without clutching. That was revolutionary in 1963. Farmers could change gears without stopping, maintaining momentum across fields. That technology is still praised by operators today. Here's the jaw-dropping reality. In 2024, a fully restored John Deere 4020 in good working condition sells for anywhere between $15,000 and $35,000. A brand new John Deere 5075E, which produces just 75 horsepower, starts at over $50,000. People are paying more for old 4020s than for new mid-range tractors because they know what they're getting, a machine that with basic maintenance will never stop working. The 4020 had no computers, no DEF fluid systems, no DPF filters to clog, no emissions compliance modules to fail. Parts are abundant, widely available, and inexpensive. Mechanics worldwide know this engine inside out. It is the definition of a tractor that humiliates modern machines, not by being flashy, but by simply never dying. Number 2. International Harvester Farmall M, 1939-1952, but widely used through 1960s. Yes, the Farmall M technically began production in 1939, but we're including it because millions of these machines were still primary workhorses on farms well into the 1960s and beyond, and many still are today. The Farmall M was powered by a 248 cubic inch 4-cylinder gasoline or distillate engine producing around 36 horsepower at the drawbar. Modest by today's standards? Absolutely. But consider this, the Farmall M weighed approximately 5,700 pounds and was mechanically so simple that a farmer with basic tools could rebuild the entire engine in a weekend. International Harvester produced over 270,000 Farmall M tractors during its production run. The design was so well received that IH essentially kept the same architecture alive through the Super M and MTA variants. The cultivating ability of the Farmall M was unmatched. Its high clearance and adjustable rear axle width made it perfect for row crops like corn and soybeans. And many farmers argue that nothing built today handles row cultivation with the same precision and operator visibility. The carburetor on an M can be cleaned with a toothbrush. The magneto ignition requires zero electronics. Farmers in developing countries still run these machines because they genuinely cannot be killed. That's not nostalgia, that's engineering respect. Number 3. Ford 8N, 1947-1952. Over 500,000 Ford 8N tractors were manufactured between 1947 and 1952, making it one of the best-selling tractors in American history. The 8N was powered by a 119.7 cubic inch, 4-cylinder side-valve gasoline engine producing around 27 horsepower. That might seem small, but the 8N introduced or popularized several technologies that are now standard across all modern tractors. Most critically, the Ford 8N featured the Ferguson system, a 3-point hitch with draft control. Harry Ferguson and Henry Ford developed this linkage system together, and it fundamentally changed how tractors interact with implements. Before the 3-point hitch, implements were towed behind tractors with chains or drawbars, making depth control imprecise and dangerous. The Ferguson system allowed the tractor to automatically sense soil resistance and adjust implement depth in real time. Every single tractor manufactured today, every brand, every country, uses a 3-point hitch system derived from what the 8N popularized. The 8N also featured a 4-speed transmission, live PTO as an option, and a front-mounted distributor ignition that was easy to time and service. Parts are so universally available that auto parts stores stock 8N components. Antique tractor pulls regularly feature 8Ns pulling loads that embarrass machines twice their weight. And at auction, well-restored 8Ns consistently command $5,000 to $12,000 for a tractor built in 1950. Number 4. Oliver 88, 1947, 1954. Oliver Farm Equipment was one of the premier American tractor manufacturers of the mid-20th century, and the Oliver 88 represents some of the finest mechanical engineering of the post-war era. The standard row crop 88 was powered by a 231 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine available in gasoline, distillate, or diesel variants, producing between 44 and 50 horsepower depending on configuration. Oliver was actually ahead of its competitors in adopting overhead valves in their engines, which meant better fuel efficiency and cleaner combustion compared to flathead designs common at the time. The Oliver 88's hydraulic system was sophisticated for its day, with a live independent hydraulic pump that could operate without the tractor being in gear. This made it ideal for front-loader work and independent implement operation. The streamlined styling, designed by industrial designer Jean Reinach, gave the 88 a look unlike anything else on the road, and that orange and green livery is still recognized instantly by collectors worldwide. Operators who have run both the Oliver 88 and modern compact utility tractors in the same field, tasks consistently report that the 88's field of vision, physical feedback through the steering, and mechanical simplicity make it easier and more satisfying to operate. No error codes, no DEF system, no software update required before planting season. Just start it, drive it, work it. Number 5. Massey Ferguson 135. 1964-1975. If the John Deere 4020 is the king of American farm tractors, the Massey Ferguson 135 is its British equivalent in terms of cultural and agricultural impact. Manufactured at the Banner Lane factory in Coventry, England, and sold globally, the MF135 was powered by a Perkins AD 3.152 diesel engine, a 152 cubic inch 3-cylinder unit producing 45.5 horsepower. At the PTO, this engine became one of the most respected small diesel engines in agricultural history. The Perkins AD 3.152 engine in the MF135 is celebrated for its incredible longevity. Documented cases exist of MF135 tractors exceeding 15,000 operating hours with only basic maintenance, oil changes, fuel filter replacements, and occasional injector cleaning. That kind of reliability is extraordinarily rare in modern equipment, where emissions-compliant diesel engines in similar horsepower ranges often require major overhauls or expensive emissions system work at a fraction of those hours. The MF135 was sold in over 100 countries and became the dominant tractor across parts of Africa, South Asia, and South America, where its ease of repair with basic tools made it indispensable. In Pakistan and parts of India, MF135s are still manufactured and sold today under license more than 60 years after the original design debuted. No modern tractor can claim that kind of enduring production legacy. That is what genuine durability looks like. Number 6. Allis-Chalmers WD45, 1953-1957. The Allis-Chalmers WD45 holds a special place in tractor history because of what it did at the Nebraska tractor tests, the definitive scientific evaluation of tractor performance conducted by the University of Nebraska since 1920. When the WD45 diesel was tested in 1953, it became the first American-built wheel tractor to achieve over 40 belt horsepower on a gasoline engine while maintaining exceptional fuel efficiency ratings. The WD45 diesel produced 43.35 brake horsepower, numbers that shocked the industry. The WD45 was built on the platform of the WD, introduced in 1948, which itself had pioneered two-clutch power control, a system that allowed the PTO and transmission to be independently controlled. This made hitching implements dramatically safer and easier for solo operators. The WD45 refined this system and added a live PTO as standard, along with a full hydraulic system that could handle front loaders and heavy rear implements simultaneously. Allis-Chalmers used their famous Persian orange paint, a color so distinctive that it's been adopted by restoration enthusiasts as a badge of honor. Restored WD45s are among the most actively sought collector tractors in the Midwest, regularly appearing at the National Threshermen's Reunion and similar heritage events. Operators who grew up farming with WD45s describe a seat-of-the-pants feedback that modern power steering and ride isolation systems have completely eliminated. You knew exactly what the ground was doing beneath you. That connection between man, machine, and soil is something modern engineering has traded away for comfort. Number 7. John Deere 4440, 1977-1982. By the late 1970s, John Deere had refined their 40 series lineup into something truly remarkable, and the 4440 represents the pinnacle of that era. This tractor produced 130 PTO horsepower from a 404 cubic inch turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel engine, genuine high-powered output that could handle 6- and 8-row farming operations that were becoming standard in commercial agriculture. But what made the 4440 truly transformative was its SoundGuard body cab. John Deere introduced the SoundGuard cab in 1972 on the Generation 2 tractors, and by the time the 4440 arrived, it had been refined into a quiet, comfortable operator environment that was unprecedented in agricultural equipment. Noise levels inside were measured at around 80 decibels compared to 95 to 105 decibels in an open station, reducing operator fatigue significantly during 12- and 14-hour days. This wasn't just comfort, it was a genuine safety and productivity advancement. The 4440 also featured an optional quad-range transmission with 16 forward and 6 reverse speeds, and the hydraulic system could flow 22 gallons per minute, capable of running large front loaders and multiple remote cylinders simultaneously. These specifications were genuinely competitive with tractors produced decades later. Today, a clean John Deere 4440 with low hours sells for $20,000 to $45,000, and many commercial farmers use them as primary tillage tractors because the repair costs over a season are a fraction of what they'd spend on emission system maintenance on a modern equivalent. Number 8. Case I H25 94, 1983, 1986. The Case I-2594 arrived at a critical moment in agricultural history, the early 1980s, when American farming was under severe economic stress from falling commodity prices and rising interest rates. Farmers needed maximum productivity from minimum investment, and the 2594 delivered. Powered by a Case 504 cubic inch turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel engine, producing 185 PTO horsepower, the 2594 was a legitimate large-frame tractor that competed directly with John Deere's flagship models. What set the 2594 apart was its 12-speed synchro-shift transmission, combined with a high-low range splitter, effectively giving 24 working speeds across a remarkably wide range of ground speeds. For tillage work, this meant operators could dial in precise speeds for optimal implement performance without sacrificing torque multiplication. The 2594 also featured Case's exclusive draft control system, which the company had refined over decades of engineering. The 2594 came from the period just after J.I. Case merged with International Harvester's agricultural division, creating Case 1H in 1985, so some early 2594s carry the older Case branding, while later examples have the new Case 1H logos. This transitional history makes them interesting collector pieces today. More practically, the 504 cubic inch engine is widely known for exceptional torque at low RPM, meaning fuel consumption during heavy tillage is significantly lower than equivalent horsepower modern tractors that need to rev higher to reach peak output. Number 9. Ford TW35. 1983-1990, Ford's TW series represented the company's most serious attempt at competing in the large horsepower row crop and tillage tractor market, and the TW35 was the flagship of that lineup. Powered by a Ford 401 cubic inch, turbocharged and intercooled 6-cylinder diesel engine producing 170 PTO horsepower, the TW35 was built for serious commercial farming operations, multi-hundred-acre grain operations that needed reliable, high-power tillage capability day after day. The TW35 used Ford's Selecto-Speed transmission in earlier variants, but by the TW series had moved to a fully synchronized mechanical transmission that operators found far more durable and easier to service. The cab on the TW35, while not as refined as the John Deere Soundguard, offered good visibility and functional ergonomics that made long days manageable. Ford's hydraulic system on the TW series was capable of 19.3 gallons per minute flow rate, adequate for contemporary implements. What makes the TW35 genuinely impressive in retrospect is its reliability record. Ford's 401 cubic inch engine, derived from the company's long-running six-cylinder diesel family, had accumulated decades of refinement by the time it appeared in the TW35. Operators who push these tractors hard report that finding major engine failures before 10,000 hours is unusual if basic maintenance protocols are followed. At a used market price typically between $18,000 and $30,000 today, a TW35 delivering 170 horsepower represents extraordinary value compared to new tractors in the same output range starting above $120,000. Number 10. Minneapolis Moline 1000 Vista, 1969-1973. We're closing out this list with one of the most underappreciated tractors in American agricultural history, the Minneapolis Moline G1000 Vista. Minneapolis Moline, a Minnesota-based manufacturer that traced its roots back to 1929, built tractors that consistently pushed the boundaries of power and technology, and the G1000 Vista was their masterpiece. Powered by a 504 cubic inch six-cylinder gasoline or a 585 cubic inch LPG engine, or the diesel variant with 425 cubic inches, the G1000 produced up to 110 horsepower at the PTO, making it one of the most powerful wheel tractors available when it launched. The Vista designation referred to the revolutionary cab design, an all-glass panoramic operator enclosure that provided 360-degree visibility, unlike anything offered by competitors in that era. Minneapolis Moline was genuinely ahead of their time in understanding that operator comfort and visibility directly translated to productivity and reduced fatigue-related errors. The Vista cab was quieter, offered better heating and ventilation, and provided superior sightlines compared to contemporaries from John Deere, Allis-Chalmers, and Case. Minneapolis Moline was acquired by White Farm Equipment in 1969. And production of the G1000 continued only until 1973, making these tractors relatively rare today. That rarity, combined with the distinctive prairie gold paint and the Vista cab's striking appearance, has made the G1000 one of the most desirable collector tractors in the American Midwest. At auction, exceptional examples have sold above $40,000, rivaling prices for modern 75 horsepower tractors. But it's not just the rarity. Farmers who have used G1000s in real field conditions consistently report that the torque curve, the visibility, and the overall driver experience is something modern mass production engineering has lost in the pursuit of emissions compliance and technology integration. If you want to see more deep dives into the machines that built modern agriculture, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because we have a lot more of these coming. And drop in the comments, which of these 10 tractors have you worked with, or do you own one? Let's hear it.